Are you feeling stuck? You feel like you have no idea where you're going in life. You feel like deep down inside you have this hidden potential, but you just don't know where to go from here. Maybe you had something tragic just happen to you and you're just kind of like, what's next? Do you maybe need a nudge in the right direction? Or maybe it's just time for a change. I'm sick of living this life. What do I do next? Show me the way. Hello, love. My name is Wintana. Thank you for joining me today. So we're going to discuss some subjects surrounding glow up and your personal brand and what that even consists of. So if you don't know what that means, personal brand, or what even a glow up journey even is, or what that looks like, someone who wants to rebrand, think of it this way: it's shedding old beliefs, styles, and actions that no longer serve you and replacing them with better and more aligned beliefs, styles, and actions. At the end of this video, you'll have more clarity on where your life is going and you'll have discovered a few things about yourself. So how do we begin? So let's start off by establishing a brand. The way that you do this is by being clear on who and what you want to embody. What kind of person are you transitioning into? Do you have even the slightest idea of what that might look like? I want you to grab a pen and paper, and if you have a journal, even better. Let's get it cracking. So let's start off with a few questions, okay? So these are going to basically get your gears going in the right direction. Are you content with the way you communicate with others? If not, what would you change? How about the way you communicate with yourself? Negative self-talk, always devaluing yourself, or are you kind to yourself? Do you offer yourself grace? If not, what would you change? Are you content with your group of friends? Are you content with your current routines? If not, what would your ideal routine look like? How about the current state of your environment? How about your appearance and wardrobe? Maybe even your career. Or maybe if you could change one thing about yourself, what would that be? If you had the power to do it today, what would you change? There's no right or wrong answers. You're establishing the foundation of your life right now. So you owe it to yourself to be as honest, brutally honest, or if you want to play it light, then you sure can. It's up to you. I highly suggest that you take these questions into consideration. If you don't have a pen and paper right now, that's okay. Just like and subscribe and come back to this video later, okay? So back to the topic at hand. These questions are important. Why are they important? Because some of us are just not aware that these areas of our lives need some sprucing up. They need to have some awareness, some changes, and sometimes what we don't really pay attention to, like, it has taken on a life of its own, right? All these things don't necessarily define you, but they set the tone on your life and how you live it. Your brand consists of what impressions you make, your style, let that be the way that you talk, your clothing style, may that be the way that you speak, or the caliber of living. Are you hanging around people that don't really benefit you, or are you hanging around people that actually uplift you? This is also included in your brand, and this is how people perceive you as well. So what next? So actually I created a PDF which is free, and I mean, it's my gift from me to you. It will be down below. Just click the link and I'll go ahead and give you the free PDF. But we're actually gonna go through what the PDF consists of, especially if you don't really have a good idea on where to start, okay? Let's go. All right, girlies. So I call this a journey to yourself because that's essentially what it is. You are going back to yourself, what you like. You're becoming familiar with who you are. This is a very spiritual, physical, mental transition that we'll be making. And it takes a lot of work, but this is the easy part, you know, just making sure you know what you do like, what you don't like. That is what's important, because why would you continue a life of things that just don't resonate with you? That's not living in your truth. And when you start living in your truth, yeah, when you start living in the path of least resistance, that's when things work in your favor. So back to the PDF at hands. Let's get into it. So, a journey to yourself. This is my just rough draft and what that looks like, all right? So we have the aura, attitude, routine, appearance, wardrobe, recreations, transportation, home, and the physical space that you live in, your mindset, your relationships, friendships, career, spirituality, your kids, your finances. All this stuff will be easily accessible for you to look at. And I recommend you looking at this every morning when you wake up and when you go to bed, okay? I need you to be reminded that you have cultivated a life for yourself, and it's up to you to follow through with that vision. Here is what my example of aura and attitude looks like. The reason why I chose these pictures is because not only are these women beautiful, but there's like a certain feeling that I get from these images, right? This page, I want you to get pictures that you want to embody, like you get this energy from them. So for example, my page consists of beautiful, like I want to have that aura where it's hypnotic, like I draw people in, ethereal, goddess-like that's exactly what I want my aura and attitude to basically embody, right? So I just found these pictures on Pinterest, by the way. It's nothing special. There's a lot of nice pictures on Pinterest. So yes, on to the next, so aura and attitude. The next slides after these images is going to be basically you going and talking in first person as if you have already acquired this aura and attitude or whatever, right? So what I do is I think of who I am trying to embody and what does she do. So if I'm trying to be X, Y, and Z, if I want my aura to be ethereal and charismatic and, you know, sex appeal, la da da da. I write, I am in a constant state of bliss. I radiate love and healing. I always stir the air with my mysterious aura. I am calm and collected. And down below, I just did like words to describe me would be like beautiful, charismatic, classic, hypnotic, influential, clean, intellectual, level-headed, decisive, coherent, brilliant, kind, loyal, nurturing, sexy. I want you to go in. Like, I want you to go in. There is nobody here to stop you but yourself, okay? Next. So we have the routine. Why I put routine is because routine is so essential for our growth. We overlook the amount of hours that we have in a day. 24 hours is really not that much when you have a goal in mind. It's not as daunting as it sounds, okay? The most important thing about our glow up journey is our routine. Our routine is basically supposed to get us in this mindset of like, okay, we wake up and we do this, 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 and this, and this. The more that you practice what is in your routine, the more it feels like second nature. You know, like the first day you go back to the gym after it's been like a long time and you're just like dreading it and you're like, I can't even make it through this mile. Okay, but you was in the gym not that long ago and that mile felt like nothing. That's what I mean. By being consistent with your routine, everything will start falling into place. But for my example of the routine, I have someone meditating, the journal, love to journal in the morning. And this is all very broad, like it's an example, basically. But let's say I want to go jogging in the morning, so I have someone jogging. Look at those thighs, like she's about that life. You can tell having a routine really does bind your vision to the life that you're currently living. When you wake up and you just kind of go with the flow, like there are not a lot of chances in which you actually meet your goals. It's very important to have a list of the things that you want to accomplish for that day. So I always recommend the night before write a list of stuff that you need to accomplish for the next day. And the next day, you want to just tackle that stuff. Don't even have to think about what do I need to do, what do I need to do. Unless you're into that, that's totally up to you. So my example in terms of like routines, hopefully like you understand the importance of routines this way. Imagine you're hosting a large dinner, right? You want to have some type of idea of what you want to cook. Like let's say it's a Thanksgiving dinner and you're hosting it. So your responsibility is to get all the food cooked, you know, like that's your thing. So let's say it's time to go to the grocery store. Would you leave that list of all the things that you were supposed to buy at home? Or would you just, you know, go to the grocery store and, you know, wing it? You're like, you know what? I'm gonna go off vibes. Like, you know, oh yeah, that turkey. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to get that. Oh, that cake, I think I'm supposed to get that. Like, no, that gives you room for error. And by the time you get home, you miss the eggs. Then you miss the milk, the heavy cream, the vegan options for your TT. Like, and that's only because you were not prepared. And think of life the same way. When you have a goal in mind, you want to stay prepared. Okay, does that make more sense? So creating a routine significantly increases your chances of achieving your goals at a higher rate. So what sounds better to you? It's on you. But anyways, let's get next slide. So on this section, I want you to again write in first person. And then for me, like I separated it. There's a morning routine and there's a night routine. So however you guys want to word it, go ahead. So in the morning, I am committed to waking up at 6 a.m. every morning. I start off my day with 5-minute meditation. I journal for 20 minutes. I brush, wash my face, shower. I do a light jogger on the block for 30 minutes, whatever, right? You want to get in this headspace of what would my already established self do in the mornings, nights, whatever. We're talking as if you already have your life established, and what would you do? So moving on, the nighttime, I meditate or pray, I shower, I put the dishes in the washer, X, Y, and Z. I put my, I wash my face, I wash the day off, whatever you resonate with. I want you to put that on the next page as if you've already do this every single day, like it's nothing, okay? Next, appearance. I love this part. On this page, how I fill it out and how I've filled it out in the past is just kind of like what I want my makeup, like small stuff to look like, what I want to smell like, what I want my eyebrows or eyelashes to look like. I don't know, that's totally up to your discretion. And I don't like to put my wardrobe on the same slide as appearance because I feel like they kind of, they're interchangeable in a way, but I feel like it kind of gets in the way of my hygiene, like how I look without my clothes. So again, we're just using that already have achieved type mindset of I do this and I do that, and my this and my that looks like this. Can you follow my lead? All right, next, wardrobe. Let's get into it, ladies. I have so much fun with it. It's probably my favorite part. For the wardrobe, if you don't really have like a specific style, or you're not really obsessed over your wardrobe, then I guess look for somebody that you follow on Instagram or whatever, or go on Pinterest and look at outfits that you resonate with. That's definitely one thing that's pretty important on rebranding, is the way that you style your clothes, because that's the first thing people look at when they see you. A lot of the work is internal, don't get me wrong, but people don't see you for what's inside, okay? Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. I chose Rihanna because she's just iconic. I just love all of her outfits. She knows what she's doing. Moving on. Recreation. Why is recreation important? Work or taking care of the kids or whatever. Like, what do you do on a night out? Aside from drinking or dancing or whatever. Not that that's bad, but like, what do you do to unwind? What do you do to relax? Like, what do you do on your off time? I just put down like swimming, yoga, a woman reading because I love to read, a woman putting on makeup, and gardening. And then for the next slide, you want to just explain a little bit further on what it is you do. And just writing this stuff down really does help get your brain into this like, oh, we're taking dance classes now. Like, you're tricking your brain into like, oh, we're actually getting stuff done. So I just wrote down, I take a dance class once a week, I paint, I read books on self-help, I limit my drinking and instead do X, Y, and Z when I go out. I practice yoga with my community. These are all pretty great recreations. And if you're stumped, I recommend going on Google and typing like recreations near me, and they probably will pull up like yoga classes nearby or whatever the case. Just getting involved and doing something with your time that doesn't involve scrolling on the internet all day. We got other stuff going on, like building our personalities, building up who we are. So recreations are pretty important. Just take 30 minutes out the day and do something that you love, whether it's reading, painting, whatever, okay? Next, we're gonna talk about transportation. This is actually how I manifested my car. I just kind of put a whole bunch of pictures up forever. Here I just have a picture of a Porsche and a panoramic sunroof. I love panoramic sunroofs. Maybe some lighting in the car. Next. So let's talk about your physical space. You want to establish what you want in your home and what makes you feel secure. For my physical space, I just did like a really spacious, like I love floor to ceiling windows. Definitely would go in on more decor and stuff here, like what resonates with you. Like if you have a certain style, go in. Next, how does your home make you feel? And we're talking about the home that you just, that one, okay? For me, I just wrote down, in my home, I feel safe. I love how spacious my space is. My space is clean, smells like fresh linen, and makes me feel secure. I love my style of decorations. The kitchen island is my favorite part of my home. I don't have a white fridge anymore. Like, go in, okay? And now my favorite. This one, I didn't put a slide for images only because I'm not exactly sure how I would carry out what discipline looks like through images. That's more internal. What I did was I put 3 books down that have kind of changed the way that I thought about life. So, I mean, these are the biggest factors. You can dress up and look nice, but all that stuff doesn't really matter if you don't change what's with you. Might be looking at me like, why does that matter? Why do you think that when people win the lottery, they lose it in a matter of seconds, damn near? It's because they feel like deep down they're not worth it. They don't even know how to handle the amount of money because all their life they've been programmed to think, well, I'm poor. So you know what they do? They make poor decisions. Bars. But you know, seriously though. Your mindset consists of your core beliefs, your philosophies, your paradigms. At the end of the day, it's only you that can make these type of changes. And when you keep telling yourself that you're not worthy to change your life or this and that, that's the only thing getting in the way of you becoming who you want to be. In order to prevent that, these self-sabotaging thoughts to keep reoccurring, you want to get to the root cause of these problems. You want to know, why do I feel like I'm not worthy? It's not going to be easy work, but you're going to be so glad that you finally got that out that way. New doors will open for you once you keep getting rid of these blockages in your life. Okay, everything is mental, everything is up here. Mindset is absolutely important. I save the best for last. Some of the things that I feel like don't get enough credit when it comes to rebranding is the mindset. Making sure to be organized, taking care of your space. They say out with the old, in with the new. Making sure your time management skills are okay, knowing your worth as a person, okay? Because there are people that don't have nothing in their lives but confidence, and it takes them great places. And that's because they simply knew their worth. Not only do they know their worth, but people that know that they're worthy do not subject themselves to certain situations, people, things that are lesser of value to them. Learning the art of communication, practicing showing up for yourself, learning to be assertive about your time and energy, working on your flaws, learning your triggers and how to get rid of them. Not gonna be easy, but it's the work that needs to be done, and only you can really do that. Being strategic is very important. You want to be strategic about your finances. You want to be strategic about how you want to handle X, Y, and Z if something happens. You want to be in a strategic mindset when it comes to really bettering your life. Read books on finance. If you want to flourish, if you want to do good in your life, you have to understand how money works, right? The knowledge is not just gonna, it doesn't work that way. These are all valuable things, okay? And they will skyrocket your glow up journey exponentially if you take the time, okay? Also, I would like to mention that you're not just a body, you are an eternal being. This flesh suit that we have is temporary, but you've been here a long time. I'm not sure what your religion is or what your belief is on life, but you are so much more than just the materialistics that's around you. It all starts from within. Only thing hindering you from who you want to be is your limiting beliefs that you have placed on yourself, that others have placed on yourself, and it is your job to remove those limiting beliefs. You have to dream big.
Bitch, you think it's small. We need to be thinking big.
Because if you don't dream big, you're not dreaming at all, honey. Okay? Quote me on that. But seriously, the very fact that you're out here trying to make a difference in your life, the universe hears your message, and it might not be your life changes overnight. There are lessons that will need to be learned. There will be uncomfortable moments. There will be attachments that need to be severed, and it's not gonna be comfortable. You have to leave behind the old you so that the new you can sprout. And a lot of people in their lives are pretty okay with the way that they're living, even if they're unhappy because they're so comfortable with it, or they just have a hard time changing. There are people, believe it or not, that really have this mindset of, if it's not broken, it doesn't need to be fixed. It's true. Can you believe that? But what if I told you that life is all about rebirth, regrowth, changes? The seasons are never just, it's never just summer, it's never just winter. Things need to constantly move. That's how life works. To stay in a place in your life when you know you're not living in your truth, that is the ultimate self-suicide that there is. And you're doing yourself a disservice. It also contributes to this mindset that living mundane is okay. I mean, unless you're into that, I'm not trying to kink shame. So let's do this right before we wake up. I want you to write down one thing from each slide. I am happy that I finally have the body that I've always worked towards. I am making X, Y, and Z amount of money. I am driving a Porsche. I am this, that, and that. I want you to write it out as if you already achieved these things, okay? So write it all down on a piece of paper when you wake up, because your mind has no reason not to believe it. Your subconscious has no reason not to believe it. Where attention goes, the energy flows, okay? So keep thinking about these things as if they've already happened, and you'll start to see that these doors will start opening up for you. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like, subscribe, comment what your favorite part of this video was, or if you have any questions, anything like that, leave a comment below. All right, take care.